Howdy guys, got a new build here. Wanted to share it. I did not make the build. I'll link the original creator in the description. Don't know how I didn't make this build because this is right up my alley as far as like how to scale. It's one of my favorite ways of scaling. So we use elemental rings, ingenuity, and flat Ellie on here for our base damage. We use Tangle Tongue. This isn't a very new interaction. I'm not going to talk about this a ton. And then we put all that flat elemental damage into a bleed using Blood Mage. Elemental damage also contributes to bleeding magnitude. So it applies all that flat Ellie to a bleed, and then we use Rake to do the damage, and the damage, as you saw from the intro, is insane for bosses. All those bosses were T4. T4 Arbiter, if he didn't phase you halfway, you could get him with one bleed. You also have Blood Hunt if they don't die all the way. Sometimes you like don't crit, or you like mess up your rage, or there's a bit of a setup here. You can mess it up. Blood Break will usually cover you if you screw up and the full bleed doesn't kill him. This build's not pushed at all. This is a 20x amulet. I could get way more stuff on here. The shield is missing some good chunk of fire damage. Yeah, lots of stuff. Super, like, ingenuity could be a lot better. It's not like a super push build. It's pretty high end, but it's not crazy. Yeah, so the POB should give like a clear description. The few things I want to talk about are the skill choices. So Ambrosia and Concoct, these consume your charges. This is why you can't use Rake as like a main skill. If you're going to use it for like a clear skill for whatever godforsaken reason, I'd recommend taking these off. These, and then Blood Hunt. So Lightning Spear. This is going to be your clear skill. You're not always going to bleed with this. However, you have enough flat Ellie and enough crit and crit multi to be able to kill with hits from Lightning Spear, which feels really good. I'm using Blasphemy to curse. So there's the node. Bleeding you inflict on cursed targets is aggravated. So when I get in with the Rake and curse them, they are cursed. That bleeding is now aggravated. I think it's only aggravated for as long as they stay cursed. So you got to try to stay near the monster. Honestly, this build has so much damage, it doesn't super matter. And then I opted for a high damage, high move speed setup. I grabbed these two. I mean, it's not high move speed. It's like 42, but it's higher. Just enough to make bosses feel comfy. You could drop these nodes here, grab some more damage somewhere. This node's really important. This wheel right here, the Heartstopper. This from nothing. And yeah, rest of the build should be pretty clear in the POB. The playstyle is you drop, just so in case you're wondering what all the skills do, you drop your Orb of Storms. It's really important that you have Brutality on it. That's going to make it do no damage because all it has is some flat lightning. And then you make it deal, the bottom line there, supported skills deal no elemental damage. The reason that's important is because we have a lot of nodes that scale from full life. So we have like 50% increased crit chance, 80% increased damage, another 40% increased damage from these two, and like 80 crit damage bonus when they're on full life. There's a few other nodes like this too, down here somewhere, I forget. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff with full life, so we want to make sure that when we're dropping our Orb of Storms before the boss comes in, then we're getting our, we're not hitting him, because that'll break the full life potentially, and we don't want to risk that. So what you do is you want to get at least 10 rage from this, and then pop your Infernal Cry. When you're close to the boss, you got to be pretty close to the boss to do that. And then that will give you all these bonuses, so 15% more damage. You also get some rage, which is nice, and then you consume the initial 10 rage that you got from the Orb of Storm setup to do 30% more damage. And the buff itself gives you a bunch of damage as extra fire. That's why we went for fire damage on the shield here. Was because it's the largest chunk of the elemental is fire, even though the rings are pretty balanced, and actually I have like the least amount of fire on my rings. The Infernal Cry gives you so much chunk. So the playstyle, as you saw in the intro, is you drop this down till 10 rage, you wait till the boss comes, you pop Infernal Cry, you back up, and then you attack. There's a bit of a learning curve on getting used to that. You want to be at max range for two reasons. One, you want to make sure you proc momentum on Rake. So you move 2 meters. After that, you do 40% more damage. Making sure you get that 2 meter threshold is huge. And then also Rake does more damage based on the different distance traveled, so you get a lot more bleeding magnitude and a more damage multiplier built into the skill. So in the POB, you can go mess with the distance traveled node to see like how much of a damage bonus you lose, but it's like half your damage if you're not right up on them. So same with this one. Wait, oh sorry, that's lightning spear. I'm stupid down here. Yeah, so that's pretty much my explanation of the build. The rest of the information is in the POB. If you have any questions on scaling or any decisions that were made, feel free to ping me in game. IGN is there. It's at Tyranny. You can do at TEARKNEE. I have that name reserved. It'll always go to me, or you can leave a comment. But thanks, guys. Bye.